about in the last class, we tried to design like convolution neural network for solving a problem, right? So where what we have done is like we have stacked like few convolution layers and then followed by like dense layer, and finally we tried to like get the output, right? And we trained a image classification on this cipher data set. Okay, so but there are like few like kind of architectures which were released in by researchers like for this. So and they experimented with different like convolution layers, and they have proposed like few architectures. So let's discuss one like few of those like popular architectures here. Okay, so let's start with that. uh, okay, so various like architectures starting from like one popular architecture like which was proposed long ago is like LANet. What I'll do is I'll start from older version, like means like from early stage, like what has been proposed to a newer time. Okay, so first like and foremost one which became very popular, they name it as LANet. So and this was proposed in 1998. Okay, so this was proposed like very long ago, again using like convolutional networks and all. Let's we'll also draw like what is a architecture, like how many layers they have used, and discuss like in the next architectures what is the improvement in it. Okay, so in that here is like first architecture. They name it LANet, maybe because I think Lay on some the scientist name is like Lay something, so he named it after his name. So okay, so this actually has 5 layers. So in that actually, if you take input layer, and there will be a convolution layer, and then there will be a max pooling, and there is one more max convolution layer, and there is max pooling convolution layer. So and then let me bring it this side, so because it's slightly bigger than this. Okay, so one more convolution layer, and then a dense layer like FC. I'm writing it as FC, which means because dense layer will also be called as like fully connected layer, which means like each layer is being connected to each and every other cell over there. Okay, so and one more dense layer, I mean like fully connected layer. So let me also give like they experimented with 32 cross 32 as input size, and they use like 5 cross 5 filter, and they use like 6 filters, and here it's like 2 by 2 max pooling, and again like 5 by 5 filter. 5 by 5 is like filter size. Okay, so and then they use this time, previously they used 6, this time 16. So as I mentioned earlier, while implementing, so the number of filters will start increasing or maybe remaining same, that usually that doesn't decrease. And again they use 2 by 2 max pooling, and this time they used like 4 4 by 4 as a filter size. Okay, and this time they used 120 filters. So it's like they tuned these filter size, they have experimented with different filter size, sizes, and then number of filters, and number of dense layers, and finally come up with this model. Actually they performed well for them, so they have proposed this. Okay, so 64, and here output is 10. Okay, I think maybe they have trained it on minus or maybe cipher dataset. I'm not sure about it. So so there are 5 layers, in the sense 5 weighting layers, 1 2 3 4 5. These actually contains weights, right? So these actually contains so layers containing weights. Okay, so there are like 2 convolution layers with max pooling, and 1 convolution which is followed by two dense layers. Okay, so and like the activation function used here is tan h. Okay, so this is what has been proposed by them, like lanet time. This has been proposed by Lee and Kuhn. So he's also available in like Facebook. He's currently working in Facebook anyway. So like you can follow him. Like he will be sharing some details, like few more like the latest updates about recent AI developments and all. So you can follow him as well. So he is the one like who has proposed this net, and also he has showed that back propagation in convolution layers as well, I think. So okay, this is about LeanNet. So this has some issues, right? So one of them is tan h. We know like there will be a problem for like gradient diminishing, right? So like they in the further stages, like what they have done is LXNet has come. So what LXNet actually, there is not much development like in deep learning when there is a phase, like because like when it started boosting when the GPUs comparable like GPUs came into existence, right? So the GPU capability increased and it became cheaper as well. So then like deep learning became very popular. So till that time, like only classical machine learning is being used. So once the GPU capability has been increased, so suddenly people started gathering like lots of data sets, and then started experimenting with deep learning models. And this there is like one more which was like improvement from LeanNet, you can say that. So here what they have done is, this was proposed in 2012, where what they tried is like the depth of the network they tried to increase. So one thing, instead of like tan h activation, we know that like we have spoke about this in one other session, that like what is a problem with using like tan h and like sigmoid, right? So we have this gradient diminishing problem. So to solve that, like instead of tan h, they went with ReLU. Okay, so they went with ReLU activation. And then like what they also tried is, they try to increase the depth. So it means if you add like more and more depth, like make the what you say, your network more deeper, it means like it will have more capability. It may perform much better than, much accurate compared to non-deeper networks. That is a kind of assumption, but it has proved true in like most of the cases. But one major problem what it comes is, as you start increasing your depth, there is a chance of like gradient diminishing problem again. Like, so even though you use ReLU, maybe the features won't reflect to this level, so the information get lost in middle itself. So the change of input information, if you are going so deep, then there will be an issue. So, and there are again like few ways to tackle that. So as of now, they try to increase depth and use the ReLU, because using ReLU will give some kind of advantage for eradicating this gradient diminishing problem, right? So they were able to increase depth. So now what they did is they used 5 convolution layers and then 3 fully connected layers. Okay, so and they also went for a input layer. So they went for image size of like 224 into 3. Okay, because now at this point the capability of GPU is very high, right, compared to 198. So they could not afford like this much size computation during that time. Maybe, I'm not sure, but so this time at 2012, I think like we have very good like at least like some better extent of GPUs available. So with that, like they went for a higher image resolutions. Okay, so here they used 11 by 11 and 96 of them, and they went with stride 4. Previously they did not use stride. So filter size, number of filters, and this one, and max pool, and then again like con layer. This time they use like 5 by 5 with 256 and no stride. So okay, Okay, so max pool. Let me go here. Okay, so let me write it quickly. So they also use it 3x3 this time, and one more immediately 3x3, again 384, again 3x3 256. This like this, like 5 are over, right? So now they use a fully connected. So before fully connected, anyway they'll do flattening. That we don't have to mention. That doesn't contain any weights, right? So it doesn't, like, no need to mention that. So here it's like 4086, again like 406, and then finally 1000 as an output layer. So what this 1000 is, like, they went with like ImageNet dataset. Then this may be Cypher, I guess. So dataset maybe MyNest or Cypher 10. Here, what they did is they used ImageNet dataset, which has like 1000 classes. Okay. So using this, what they did is they were able to train this large network. Okay. So this is very large. What they did is using strides. Anyway, it will, the dimension will slightly decrease, right? So because you use slide, if you remember the convolution formula, like for getting the output dimension, it is width minus f plus 2p divided by s, right? So this s, it's in the denominator, so it will be divided by 4. Okay, so it will go 1/4, and the filter size is more, okay, much bigger, and slowly they are reducing the filter size in different levels. Okay, so this is what they have done. Actually, what will happen is, like, when you have a larger filter size, let's say this is your image and this is your filter size, right? 11 by 11 is so big, right? So this actually includes like lot of area, but it consolidates and give one single output, right? And this again looks at like different, like a larger area at a time, but consolidates and give one input, so your total output will be less, right? So now what will be done is, like, so using this, number of dimensions slowly decreases, but as you see, like, they are going like higher number of filters, the depth of the filter will increase, means like it will be like this, and this way your depth will increase. Okay, this con layers, like while going again like much more depth. So this is how, like, they have done. So then what they, this looks good, right? Like at 2012, like AlexNet was very popular, and people started using AlexNet in their experiment using the same. Actually, what they do is, like, they also release their pre-trained models over there. I will talk about it at a different stage. So what they use is they can use transfer learning for, and they can use it in their own problems. Okay, so this became like very popular in 2012. It actually like it was the phase where people started talking about deep learning, right? So mostly, so what happened is, like, everyone started to experiment with these AlexNet, and then try to form their own combination. And then what happened? There are like few more networks which has come up. So one more is like, so actually the latest network is what, like, is can be of focus, but we need to know like why they have changed the story we need, because what is the thing is, like, the change, like, what they have done is much critical, because we will know the significance of that change. Okay, so it means like, if they have here previously it is tan h, when they went for relu, what it means is, it helped in like increasing the depth of the layer, because like it is solving the gradient descent feature, so gradient diminishing problem. Okay, so similarly, like every improvement in the network which comes after that may like actually modified the output slightly, means like the network slightly, and made a major improvement. Okay, so we will know the significance of the change. So there is one more which was released in 2013, So it was called like network in network. You don't have to remember these names, just that we are following in order or not. I'm just making it, listing it here. Okay. So here they have made a simple, lightweight, CNN. What they have done is they have like added, like previously all fully connected layers are towards the end, right? So what they tried is they tried to put fully connected layers in between the convolutions. Okay. So let me show you something. While drawing, like you'll know, then input layer, from here con layer with 5 by 5 filter size FC is a fully connected layer, and max pooling, and they went for a dropout layer. So okay, I'll talk about like dropout layer in a different session. So which actually I'll tell you the significance of it as well. So okay, so this is one layer, and similarly con the same thing again, pool dropout. Okay, so 5 by 5 pool is like max pool, and then finally when it comes like this, so con FC, and then here instead of max pooling they have done average pooling. Okay, finally, and this is your output. So what you could see here is like I actually have drawn it in like few boxes, right? So each of them will look like a kind of, like if you look only at the first box, it looks a kind of a network, right? So you can treat that only as a kind of a network. So if you see only this part, this itself looks like a network. Again, only this box looks like a network, and similarly only this box looks like a network, right? So that's why they called it like network in network. They experimented using kind of a fully connected layers in between like conv layers, and see like how it has like worked. And also what they have done is they have introduced this dropout layer. Okay, so what this dropout layer is like, it will be used for regularizing your network. It will be used as a regularizer for your network. So which means we know what regularization will do, right? Like it will try to we can make it like play with it, and then keep it like underfitting or overfitting. Usually deep learning will do overfitting, like because like you already have like a bigger network, right? So it will reduce the overfitting. Okay, so we'll talk about it in detail in a different session. So where we like in detail, like we'll tell like what the dropout layer is and how it will work. Okay, so this is what it has introduced like in this network. And they because like as you go further deeper, your network may get overfit. Okay, so to reduce that problem, they have introduced their dropout layer in between. And also one more thing what they have done is they have added average pooling at the end. Like previously, till previous cases we are using only max pooling, right? So in this time it's a average pooling, and only in the last case, like here it is like max pooling. Why? Because like average pooling will also act as a regularizer. Average pool in end, okay, end layer acts as a regularizer. So why is it a kind of a regularizer, right? So you remember a formula where we were using L, if it is L2 norm, lambda into theta 2 square, right? So where we are similarly, if it is 1, it is like theta into 1, and we are summing all these, right? So actually this is one similar kind, like where what if it is average, what we do, we'll sum all those values over at the end, right? So if it is average pooling, you are doing indirectly kind of a sum. Okay, and that sum you are returning. Okay, it's some kind of a regularizer. Okay, so actually dropout will be very much useful in reducing the overfitting. So apart from that, this is one more thing, like they experimented and they found it useful. So they have introduced two things in this: average pooling and then dropout layer. Okay, so and this was also appreciated, like, but AlexNet was very popular compared to a networking network, but people started using dropout anyway. And average pooling is also used, but not very popular, but dropout became very much popular. Okay, and then in next immediate year they have released like VGGNet. So okay, so what actually from here every year, like researchers like started giving like proposing like so many different architectures actually. So again, like this is one popular one. So in 2014 actually, when they released this like proposed this like VGGNet and then showed it. So actually what it has is like this has very simple model, is very simple. Simplicity the is of model. So this is known like actually what they did is like they started using smaller kernels or you can call it like filters. Okay, both are same, like this is a kind of terminology people use. Okay, so actually using a smaller like filters will help in deeper neural networks. So it helps in going deeper. Okay, so which helps to make helps to go deeper. Would you rephrase? Okay, so okay, so apart from this, like what they mainly what they have done is they use like 3x3 filters, and then like again max pooling is same. So actually the very much critical information like about using a smaller kernel size is it will increase the reception field, will increase the reception field. Okay, it means like actually you have one image, right, and you have a box which is moving over there, and you are moving like this, like this, like this, right? So if you are having a larger one, and this all consolidate, you will be getting only single value, right? And then you move it and you get it as single value. Actually, if you use smaller kernels, the way you look at image like part by part, right? So only this will have a more like reception field. So you can actually see image like much clearly, and kind of focus on image like more, right? So we call it like the reception field as is more. Okay, so if you use larger kernels, like reception field will be less. Okay, this is important one. So like you go for a smaller kernels which will have this advantage. Okay, and also what we'll have is using a smaller kernels, like there is one more advantage. What will be is like the number of parameters will be low, number of weights will be less. Okay, so this is one more advantage, because if you have a larger network, larger filter size, okay, so you have, if it is 11 cross 11, so you have 11 cross 11 which is like 121 like weights. Okay, if it is smaller like 3 cross 3, it is like what, 9 weights. Okay, so there is a difference, right? So using a smaller kernel, you actually have smaller weights, but also using advantage of increasing reception field. Okay, so uh, but still able to see better, then actually this is much better, right? So taking that into consideration, what they have is even like 5 by 5 and 3 by 3, these are all better, like it's not a problem. But if you go for 11 by 11, just like how they went in here, right? So this is not much like not so like appreciable, because the reception field will be less and then you can't go much deeper. So this time they use the same 224 by 3, and then they use like, let me write quickly like what is a, they used a max pool, and then one more con then one more con, and a max pool. So this time they went with 3 by 3 with 64, again 3 by 3 with 64, and then max pool here. Okay, 3 by 3 128. They start increasing, right, as I told. So they will start increasing the number of filters. Okay, so, and this is not done yet. So if it is only this, like, it's not deeper, right? So we told it will be deeper. So con max pool. So again, same thing, 3 by 3 3 by 3. Previously 64 128, this time 256. So they went with the power of 2. Okay, so again, con max pool, and 3 by anyway 3 by 3, they used only 3 by 3 in VGGNet. This time 512. So you can imagine like how big is your network now. Okay, so this is simpler in the sense, simpler by architecture maybe, but it's like quite deep, right? So you can still, it's not done yet. And 3 cons this time, like instead of before pooling. So 3 by 3 3 by 3 3 by 3, they use like 512 512 512. Okay, so it's not done yet. Pooling, so they did max pool, and now again came back. So this time fully connected layers, and then a dropout, and fully connected layer 4096, then a dropout again. So they now after, once they actually, it has been introduced in network, right? So they came to know the advantage of using a dropout, and then every network from here will include a dropout layer, actually, like, because this actually how they have done is, the every improvement they have included it and they have modified on top of it. Okay, so finally this is how they have done. Again, I think 1000 is ImageNet again. So this large network, so how deep it is, right? So it's very deep comparatively. So this large network, they were able to train efficiently, and because they are using 3 by 3 filters, because of which the number of weights will be, even though like network looks very deep, the number of weights will be comparatively less. Okay, so cool. So, and this is how the architecture is. So this looks fine, right? We felt like every kind of improvement is there in this. Okay, so when VGGNet became like, it became very popular and people started using VGGNet everywhere. So then what happened? Then Google released one more. So Google Net. So this time, like, actually, like by this time, like Google already have a machine learning team, like specifically team for this. Okay, like I think maybe Google Brain is a team name. So this is popular not as a Google Net, with the name Inception. Okay, so what they have actually done is, so instead of using a one major change, what I'll say is, so here we know that the capability of like using a smaller network have some good advantage, right? So like maybe, but like 3 by 3 is also good, but should we, like, actually smaller network you can also use 1 by 1, right? So which one to be taken? So if it is always 1 by 1, then actually there is a problem. So not a problem, but actually you're not going for spatial things. But if you increase, then you are going for spatial things, but you have like more like less reception field where you increase, right? So what they have done is, so every layer, so instead of a single, they used like all filters, size of filters. Like, let me say, so input layer, input to layer. Okay, this need not be the first input layer, it can be any layer. So for this, let me write only layer, then previous layer. Okay, and then first let us say con 1 cross 1. Okay, you can also use 1 by 1, 1 cross 1 filter, right? So because like this is much smaller, as we mentioned, but if it is 1 cross 1 means like there is only one single box. Okay, so if you slide it, actually it's only single box, right? So you are not actually calculating something like that, like you are not taking into account of the neighbors. Okay, so only this. Okay, you got some output. And so what they did is they used one more parallelly 3x3, and again one more output, and they used like one more con 5x5, and they again used it. So and again they did max pooling like this, max pooling of 3x3 they did, and they have given it here. So parallelly from your output of like previous layer, parallelly you have three different convolution happening. Okay, so this is different computation, this is different, this is different, and all are being stacked. One like it will be a one more dimension, like 4 dimensions will increase. Okay, so some value again like into 4 dimensions. Okay, so this is how actually these are being stacked, and then the rest of the network will be similar. By using this, they got this advantage, okay, of actually getting a better advantage than what is done earlier. So compared to previous networks, this became much popular now and people started using. So while this is happening, they actually done one more improvement to it, so you can call it like Inception 2. So maybe in the same year or the next year, I'm not sure. So what they did is, so oh, so like there is small improvement to this Inception layer, right? So what it happened is like from previous layer con 1 cross 1, this is there, and second one they used like con 1 cross 1 and then con 3 cross 3. Okay, so why? I'll tell you like what is the reason of using this con 1 cross 1, con 5 cross 5, and then they went for max pooling to 3 cross 3, like before, and it's the same network what we used before, and then they use this con 1 cross 1, and finally taking all this, they are stacked. Okay, stacked in depth. So it means last dimension, like actually they are being stacked. Okay, so this is how they have done it. Okay, so what it means is like this actually, this looks like they only, mainly what they have introduced is like using parallel is one thing, and one more thing is they introduced this 1x1 1 cross 1 convolution filter. So let's see like what actually 1 cross 1 convolution filter will do. Okay, so 1x1, if you can see, okay, so you have an image like this. Okay, it can be like W cross A, okay, and then here it need not be input. On top of it, what we do is here now is 1 cross 1, right? So if you take, so if you take image of this way, okay, and then your, okay, so what it does is actually your filter is this. Okay, so this is 1x1, like it will see 1 pixel at a time. So for this, what it will have like filter value again is 1, right? So that like value will be multiplied with this value, and you will have only one single value, right? So what actually you are, how is it helping with you? Maybe one thing is there because like there is a depth also, right? D. So if it is a 3D one, so the 3D actually there is some help, okay, because like your filter will be like this. So your filter will be something like this. So for that first one, you will have some kind of 3-dimensional, okay, so that is there with 1x1, and will have consolidated from there. But in this pixel, what you have is, so you see only one, right? So in that one, if you move further, it will be 2, 3, like that. But in case if you have strides here, right? So what you can have is your value you can resize to some other, right? So but let's say like let's not talk about strides here. So if you have only this, with W cross H. And if there are no strides, like what you'll have is again W cross H, right? For one for each. So what exactly did you do? So multiplied with some value to each of these filter value to these things, and you again got a output. What actually changed is here previously maybe depth is D. Okay, so even what will be the new depth? New depth actually depends on number of filters, right? So number of filters actually is significant for determining your output, right? So if it is number of filters is K, so even though your depth is D, your number of filters, this will be K. So W cross H cross D will actually, by using con 1 cross 1, we can change the dimension of your then you let it one. Okay, so you can modify the dimension of depth here. Okay, depth dimension of your input or maybe data here. So for that actually convolution is actually it will give an impact. So in case we know that like going deeper would be much better, so actually what we can do is go much like you can increase the dimension here by increasing the number of filters. So that is one way to do it. Okay, so and in case we want to reduce, okay, because maybe here you may be feeling that by you are actually stacking like four different like inputs here, right? So four data you're stacking, so the depth will be very huge, right? So to reduce that, maybe you can use one class one filter here. So that is why the second modification has come, so where you can reduce the number of filters, and then so the depth will be reduced, right? So that is one more way. Actually they have, this is a kind of a fix which they have done to a previous one, because like here you are stacking so many layers at one after the other, so depth is so big, right? The dimension has increased so much. So to reduce that issue, what they have done is to reduce the dimension, they have added one cross one everywhere, and that actually will reduce the dimension this way. Okay, so that is about like inception model. Okay, so using this now, what they have done is they actually went. So this we can call it as an inception module. Okay, so let's call this as an inception module. So they have stacked 9 inception modules. So let me separate this out like this, that this only belongs to single conversation. Now let's talk about inception only now. So they actually have stacked 9 inception layers, one after the other, one after. Okay, and then like inception module. So like let's say this entire big block is there, right? So let's call it as inception model. So one after the other, one after the other, like that. They actually stack 9. Okay, so this actually looks much complex network, like much deeper network compared to our previous this one, right? So here maybe you have something here, it's like again multiple of 4 layers here, so you have very large network here, right? So using this, finally what they did is like again used a like dense layer. Again you use the dense layer, right? So they use a fully connected layer, and then to the fully connected layer they did pooling, global average pooling. Okay, so they did this, and finally we got an output. It is total like 22 layer network. Okay, so this has given very good accuracy, and then also by doing one cross one, the parameters are slightly less, right? So comparatively, like if you don't use this one cross one, the parameters will be very huge. So what they did is they use it this way. So and one more thing, like by using different filters, so actually the range of reception field is different. They looked at the image in different ways, and all the different ways they are able to capture. So maybe in some cases there will be a smaller image, some cases there is a larger image. So something like that, right? Like means like the object is smaller or larger. So we are because using of different kinds of filters here, you actually have those different receptions as well. So that has increased accuracy enormously. So okay, so And to a surprise, the number of parameters are low comparatively, like to what, because like we are using one by one convolution filters, right? So that has reduced the dimension here. So that is one thing, but still, like you have 6 million parameters. So 6 million is 60 lakh weights to be, which are to be trained. So this is huge, like actually, like though we are saying like it is less, but less in terms of like kind of a complexity what you got, and these are less comparatively because of the architecture. But even though it is like that, still like 60 lakhs is huge. But to a surprise, LXNet has this is for inception, right? So actually, if you jump there, and for VGG, you have 138 million parameters. So here it is just 6 million, right? Here it is just 6 million, right? And here it is once, where is it? So 138 million. So this is very huge. So that simplicity is only in the architecture, but not in terms of final model. Means like the outputs. What you say? Sorry, not output. Like number of weights to be trained. So similarly, when you go further, LXNet LXNet has 62 million parameters to train. So, but this is quite simpler network compared to, right? This is not much deeper. So even with not much deeper, you are having 62 million parameters. One major drawback will be with this 11 by 11 cross 11, because of which it has increased enormously. So even though like it is 62 million, so while developing VGG net, they went for like so many stacking of layers, right? So it has increased like 138, because even though like you have better GPU, that's why they may be adding convolution layer, like so many convolution layer, and they because of this stacking, it went to this way. This is very huge, right? So then they thought of like reducing this, so they introduced this one by one convolution filter concept, and they reduced the dimension. Now, even though you are having very deep network, you have only less parameters. Okay, just 6 million. So this is also huge, but still, like compared to previous 138 million, it is significantly very very low, right? So that is one major thing of like kind of architecture of your deep learning network will impact like how your network will be and all the things. Okay, so that is a kind of uh, what you say, like it is the design architecture which actually will help you in making your like model do a better way. Okay, so let me quickly draw, like maybe actually if you want to draw like input image, what they have taken is like for inception 224 into 224 cross 3, and then they started with con of 7 by 7 initially with 64 filters, and stride, they used stride this time 2, and padding as 3. So this is like zero padding, not like pooling here. We'll talk about it in a different session. So this is stride 2, and then there is something called LRN network, LRN layer. So what LRN is, actually they do a normalization, layer response normalization. So there is this LRN, which is like normalization. They do a kind of a scaling to your values, like what you get from here, and then again convolution layer of 3 by 3 of 192 this time, and then padding is 1. So using this, then LRN and pool. So this LRN actually helps you to maintain your values between 0 to 1, right? So because you are doing normalization, something like -1 to 1, so that will help you to do that. So your network will be like it training, like it will train efficiently. So now actual inception modules will start. Inception max pool 3 by 3, and then inception, and then what they have done is, again, like it will extend like this, right? So there are like 9 inception modules here, and then finally you have average pooling, and then inception, average pool, now dropout. So anyway they'll use dropout because like that has proved to have some good information. Okay, so and fully connected layer, and then they used a softmax at the end to get an output. Okay, softmax activation, so that is done, like that will be done like in most of the cases. Okay, because like we need it's a classification probability, right? We need this softmax here. So this is how the network is. Okay, so let's take this. So taking this into consideration, like I think I did not draw it properly, but you got the idea, right? So how it is, we are mainly this inception modules, you know the significance, right? That is what is mainly needed. So and then we thought like this is very good, right? So then there is one more which has come, which was even popular even till now. So even though there are like much more better has come, but let me stop at least at this level, because this improvement is a major significant improvement, and after that it is quite normal. So which is ResNet. So even now you can use this ResNet, or there are like improved versions of ResNet which has come, which was ResNext or something like that. So this was proposed during like 2016. So you can see like year by year, like you are getting new proposals, right? So that much like your research in like machine learning has boosted up so well. So okay, or ResNet, like it is like residue network. So what this has done is this has introduced a concept of residue to your network. Okay, so what it means is like actually introduce like skip connections. Let me pictorially it will you'll understand this. Okay, so the advantage of this would be to easily train very deep network. Okay, so this is advantage, but let's see what actually skip network is. So let's say you have a convolution layer of some anything, like it can be anything. So and then like you have an activation ReLU. So this just I'm drawing like skip connection can be anything, just kind of an example, because like you will have this activation function everywhere, like even though it is not mentioned, you can have activation layer like anywhere here. So okay, one more conv layer. So this is how maybe you are going. Okay, so this is some input, need not be input layer, it can be some previous layer. This block you can keep it anywhere here. Okay, so and let's say this is your output, and this need not be a final output, it's just the output of this block. Okay, so if in this block actually you have input, and because of this it will flow like this, and you got an output right after this communication. So maybe like there is an issue that because you are going more and more deeper, right, because of this kind of competition everywhere, what is happening is like maybe your like input actually gets, because value got deeper, right? So maybe your input is getting lost somewhere. Okay, so your values are getting very diminished like slowly. So to reduce such kind of issue, what they have done is they have added one more term here this way. So they added this skip connection. So what actually this means is, let us say this will give an output uh, y, and this is input, right? So let's call it x, and this is y. So then output will be x plus y. So instead of just y initially, if this is not there, it is just y, right? So you also add input to it, it is input plus y. So this is how like now it is done. So what happens is your data doesn't get exhausted somewhere, it will start reflecting to other layers as well. So this is a kind of like innovative approach which has been thought, and then this way they are able to get much better accuracies like compared to even inception nest and all, right? So it has given much better accuracies and very stable learning as well. So because it doesn't like there won't be like many dead neurons like getting zero weights, or because your values will get diminished, right? So such doesn't happen. So here it is, it helps in like training. So helps in training deep neural networks. And then one more thing is, this will also like focus on, yeah, this is same, right? So this is what it will do. It will actually help you. So what they have proposed is, like previously we have seen this inception is 22 layer network, right? And now here we have 152. See how huge it has become. And this is 8 times deeper than VGG. Okay, so VGG actually has 34 layers, and this is 8 times deeper. So this is how it has become. So ResNet with the residue connection. So this is how it is there. Okay, so actually this has helped in increasing accuracy. So we are going for much bigger model. So there are actually different variants of ResNet available. ResNet, this is like 152, right? Similarly, ResNet 51 is also available, like 51 or 50, I don't remember. I think 50, I guess. So this is one more thing which is available. If you want a smaller network, you can go for this. Bigger net, if you want a larger network, you can go for this. Okay, both will perform very well, and there won't be, because of this, there won't be overfitting as well. Okay. So while you use this residual blocks, right? So I'm not going to draw this bigger like architecture. So you have so many 7x7 max pool. So residue box will start coming, like there will be stack of residue blocks here. So and then finally average pool of 7, and then finally fully connected layer. So this is how like it is done. Okay, so this is a kind of a stack of like so many layers. Like you can have in total 152 layers, like weight layers as well. Okay, so those many like it has become much deeper, right? But still it won't overfit. So no overfitting, it will also be because of like if you use the normalization, right? So it will also help in like reducing overfitting, I guess. So there is a ResNet variation of 32 layer, and there is one more as 152 layer. Okay, so there are like so many things like this. So actually, like let me pause it here, because like there are like so many like improvements which has come. So okay, let me talk about like one more last one maybe. So okay, so there are like three more, but let me quickly like not spend much time and tell what is a different improvement here. So to that previous improvement, they this ResNext actually tried to use the concept of inception, where there are like parallel blocks, right? And as well as this residue. So that combination is what is this. So what they have done is, so to input ResNext, this is NEXT. So here they used a convolution filter 1x1, and similarly convolution filter 3x3, convolution filter 1x1 of 256. So dimension I'm not giving, like here there are 4. So and this is a kind of, you are stacking it with one more con 1x1. So this looks same as like inception, right, which we have had, which had before. So con 1x1, again 256. So and again adding to this, and similarly like you can have so many like this, and have con 1x1, con 3x3, con 1x1, 256. So many kinds of similar kinds of layers, they are adding it up. And to this, though this looks like an inception, right? So to this, a skip connection. Okay, so where they are placing this to this, and finally you get an output. So this is where actually this, without this, this is an inception. So and to this they added a skip connection to this, and this became your ResNext. Okay, so this is how like it is done. And one more thing, like let me quickly talk about the other two as well. So these all mostly came on the same points. Okay, like maybe a few months later, like the new network has been released. This is also 2016. So here what they have done is they did a kind of a let's say one thing like factor, like a conv layer and then a conv layer. So conv layer and conv layer, they are adding it up. So this is one different. Okay, like let me quickly. So let's say this is one thing. So like that they are going for stacks. So this is one kind of layer, and next time what they did is this is one and then two, right? So it will be in multiples of two. So you have two. So and then you'll be like having multiples of two, four. So it's like quite different way it is done. Like it will stack like few more, one more layer like this, one more con like this. Okay, so I'm not going much different. Like it is what actually they have done is like it's not much difference. Like only thing is they are kind of adding. I'm not sure about this. Okay, so let me like go to skip to more, like because I did not use this FractalNet anytime. Like mostly ResNet is a very popular one, and you can stick with ResNet. Okay, so let me talk about the last improvement what they have done. So this is called like DenseNet. Again, it uses skip connections, like the residual connections. So and then like actually the like advantage of using skip connection, like gradient diminishing problem can also be solved by using this, and then because of which like training will be better, right? So using this, what they have done is they extended this ResNet propagation like this. Let me. So we know that like it, let's say you have a block. Okay, so and let me say like there are two blocks, like because like two blocks we are adding some kind of skip connection like this, right? So this is what we have seen in ResNet. And then like if there is one more, we have seen this way. Okay, this is what we have seen, right? So and if you have one more block con and one more con, so you will have like this. So this is what we have seen. But what DenseNet also did is they also made a connection here. They also made a connection here. They also made a connection from here to here. So this way they did. Okay, this is a kind of a new proposal. And finally what they did is average pooling, convolution layer and average pooling. This is what they have done, and this is one dense block. They called now this as dense block. So they again use like stack of dense blocks, and then finally they actually have like made a kind of a network. But like DenseNet and like FractalNet are not very popular. Mostly people use is ResNet. Okay, so now okay, there are let's hold on here and then see that there are like many different kinds of architectures now, right? So what is the use of this? And actually they have published this networks here. So what we do is, instead of us training again, because this would have take like weeks and weeks to train these models. Okay, so because like there will be a huge data set and a huge network, right? So in case we want to train it from scratch, it will take like weeks or months in some time, like depending on your computational probability, so computational capability. So what you do is like instead of trying it from like your model from scratch, you can utilize these models what are already been published. Okay, so we'll see in next session like how we are going to utilize this. So it's a concept of transfer learning which will